Ain't no last calls here.
Bar Talk with Jay.
Welcome to Bar Talk with Jay. Welcome. One of the things I want to tell you is brought to you by Dispose LLC. This is a nice small garbage company that's trying to grow big. So only thing I can tell you is go to the website, pull it up, and see all the great trucks and the things that we can do for you.
Yes.
Don't let this pandemic get you fooled, okay? They telling you to keep your hands clean. Clean up your house. I seen a lot of y'all got a lot of stuff outside. Y'all need to clean up, okay?
Right.
So let's get to a point where we clean up and do this the right way. Get a dumpster at your house and get that old stuff away and let the new stuff begin.
Yes.
Amazon deliver every day and you still got that old stuff in your driveway. Get it out. And I'm here to do it at Dispose.
Yes.
LLC. Now, I'm going to get back to you with the person been rocking with me now going on September the 15th for 5 years. Coming this bad boy, smiling all the time. Craftmatic, how you doing tonight? Big baby.
Fabuloso, Smooth J.
That man still smiling over there.
Fabuloso, man. You know.
Y'all women need to pay some attention to this. This man come in every week smiling.
Yes.
Do you know what he can do for you in a relationship? You might want to come on over here and Bar Talk with Jay and find out, because I'm telling you, I send your ass to great.
Right.
He keeps smiling, so I don't know where he's sending you.
Yeah.
He might be going straight to the damn moon. Come check us out. Bar Talk with Jay.
Hey, to the heavenly stars.
What? Back to the moon and beyond.
There you go.
Buzz Lightyear.
Hey, listen, a great way to introduce ourselves. This is Bar Talk with Jay. My name is Craftmatic. This is my boy Smooth J.
In the building, baby.
And of course, we are here to liberate your minds and souls with a great dialogue. We're going to have a conversation here tonight about a topic that we hope is really dear to you.
Yes.
And we ask that you would participate. You know, find your place in this conversation. How would you handle the situation? What are you going to do? What decisions have you made?
Mm-hmm.
How do our stories and opinions affect you?
Yes.
And really make some clear decisions about what you're going to do going forward as it relates to this subject. Because tonight, the subject is, did you expect to be single at this point in your life? A lot to think about right
Yes,
there. A lot to think about. Did you expect to be single at this point in your life? And we're going to talk all the way through it. And this is not a quick fix show. We do a 2-hour mix here because each segment, the dialogue just gets a little deeper and a little richer. And I try to make sure that I cover the key points in a highlight scenario so that you can understand, you know, what some of the meanings of these dialogues be. So thank you so much. All I can say is thank you so much for being here with us tonight. And of course, we always start the show off with a prayer.
Yeah, give it to him, man.
And
Pray now.
all right, and here we go. Tonight, we're going to pray about the idea of replenish.
Ooh, replenish.
Yes.
Give it to me again.
Replenish.
Oh, yeah.
Replenish.
Don't let it run out.
Don't let it run out.
Let it keep on flowing.
Let the well always be
Woo,
overflowing.
let that water flow.
Let it always overflow.
We still talking on the Christmas aspect of all y'all nasty-minded people. That's later.
Yeah, look who brought it up, right?
Just say it.
Heavenly Father, we need you right now.
Yes, we do.
We thank you for your awesome presence and your power and your grace, especially to be here at this show and to do this rich dialogue here again tonight. We ask, Father, that you would open our minds to the idea of being replenished in life.
Yes.
We're asking, Heavenly Father, that you would replenish our lives, refresh our lives, give us a new, bold, and healthy grand restart to our life, so that we're no longer diving into the old ways, the old people, the old opportunities. We're going for the new stuff.
Yes.
Replenish us with the newness, Father. Restore us to wholeness and completeness, and fill our lives with provision for all of our life. Give us money and time and resources, Heavenly Father. But most importantly, renew our minds and our spirits every day to be aligned with you, Heavenly Father. Replace doubts with faith. Replace troubles with progress, Heavenly Father. Reinvigorate us and stimulate us to grow, to be better. Revive our soul. Make our lives to be fun, fruitful, and beautiful, Heavenly Father. Just rebuild what was lost and what the enemy may have stolen from us. We ask, Heavenly Father, that you would be with us in this show. Speak your perfect word. We allow you to do it here in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. If y'all didn't feel like, I don't know what you're feeling. That right there should get you up and dancing.
Yes.
And then go ahead and cash that Bar Talk with Jay. Just the cash sign, Bar Talk with Jay. Yes.
Yeah, that feels
We need
good,
that, but we can
man.
continue spreading the good word.
Yeah.
Right up in here.
You know I'm always clawing and scratching in my
I felt
prayers,
you on
right?
that one, bro.
Yeah, man.
That was a smooth one.
Yeah.
You pulled us right on in. You let everybody know how you can be. You just smooth craft
Yeah,
man.
man. You know, I was telling a friend of mine tonight that you just gotta ask for what you want. And Music Soul Child has this new song out called Visions, and it's not his song, it's actually a remake from a Stevie Wonder song I just recently learned. And it's talking about, is this thing potentially real, or do I just have to live according to the visions in my mind? Is this thing really real, or should I just live on the, gather my wings and live on the visions in my mind? And sometimes we have to live on our visions,
Right.
and sometimes the things that we really desire and truly want in life can be right before us, and we need to bask in it and learn to appreciate it and love it, etc. So listen, let's go ahead and get on with the show, man. I can talk about this prayer stuff all night.
I kind of like what you was talking about.
Yeah. I wrote probably about 6 or 8 more lines of prayer that I didn't say. So there is a lot to talk about on that, Jay.
Well, if y'all want it back, just cash at me and let me know we can make an extension to this.
Right. So last week we had a very interesting topic.
Ooh.
It goes like this: can a broken woman or man, can a broken person ever truly love and trust again? Even a good woman or a good man, can they ever trust and love again, Jay? What you get out of that shot?
One of the things I can get and one of the things I talked to you about is, again, how they release. Did they let go? How did they endure everything? Some people can recover quickly and other people it takes time. But the bottom line, did you?
Did you?
A lot of people, when you hold something like that, it's kind of hard to fix something that's broken and you don't even know you're broken.
Right.
So to you, ain't nothing wrong, but you're showing that to everybody that you meet.
Right.
So at that point, I don't care how good you are or bad, man, it's just, you're going to captivate on that negative energy, and 9 times out of 10, you're not going to try to catapult her out of it. You're going to kind of stay away from it.
Right.
So she's wondering why she's bringing all this because of the negative energy that she harbored after that. Because that person moved on and she stayed stuck with it.
Yeah, and as you say that, Jay, and we didn't cover this last week, but what's coming to my mind right now is, do I have time to fix that? I know she's a beautiful person. I know she's got a lot going on for herself, but do I have time to fix that brokenness? Do I have time to get to know that brokenness and overcome it? You know what I mean? Like, or is it going to take too much out of me to try and fix that?
And by her receiving you, kind of let you know. When she's trying to push away from what you're saying of anything of brokenness and where you coming from, it kind of lets you know. You got an uphill battle because she don't even recognize what you see already, so without even really going knee deep.
So you're suggesting that if you are introducing these ideas to her and she seems to be open and willing to,
it's an opportunity.
There is an opportunity.
As a good person, as a good man, being strong, because it takes a strong person to endure that. But you're looking at the prize. You see that diamond. You understand the rough. She's been through the rough. You want her to come out and be more happy, but that happiness still has to start within her.
Right.
So when you see her trying to be happy, but there's something just not got her over the, then it's work. You sit in some time and get her there. And again, even if it don't work, you did the right thing. And it's all in your intent.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, most people play on misery.
Yeah.
I see she miserable, and you play on it because you're a miserable person, and that usually adds to the non-factor of her growing.
Yeah.
That's just right there a negative. But I will say everybody's not like that, and the ones that is, they stay that way. That's what you choose. I always say uplift when you can, because then somebody can uplift you, and that way we can get out this crabs in a bucket. It ain't a pull down, it's a push up.
Yeah, and I think we all kind of agree that can a broken person ever truly love again, love and trust again? Yes. They can,
yes.
Right? But there has to be some things to take place in order for that to happen. And, we didn't mention it last week, but the other person's intentions can have a whole lot to do with whether they're able to love and trust again, right?
If I run into another one like that, I ain't trying to do it.
Man, I'm not trying to be involved in no more nonsense. And I like to cut it off at the quick, right? So it don't take up years of my life.
And it makes you kind of more judgmental. Because I'm not going to keep going.
It makes you
this.
more protected.
Right.
It's like an artist who's hiring a new manager, and he don't want no nonsense. He don't want no beginners.
I already got played.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna play me again.
You ain't gonna play me, and you ain't gonna get taken by these people because you don't know. Right?
I learned now.
Exactly. So their intentions means a whole lot. The other part that I really liked about the conversation is,
what's that, Greg?
We've said this the entire Bar Talk with Jay show, that nobody's healing.
I hate to say it.
People are moving from relationship to relationship to relationship, but nobody's really healing because people oftentimes don't know what that healing really even looks like.
I agree.
You know, we talking here tonight, they may not even know they're broken.
No.
So how in the world can you get healing if you don't even know that you're broken? You don't even know that you shy away from people. You don't even know that you tell too many old stories. You know, you always telling old sad stories about what happened with the ex. You know what y'all did, and you seem like your whole conversation is about him and them, and you know so. And you don't even realize you're having that conversation with me. Perhaps you know you're just talking about a friend or a family, but it happened to be that ex-lover who broke your heart.
Yep.
And I gotta hear about it all the time. You know. So people are not healing, and that's one way you can tell they're not healed if they're always talking about their ex, and if they're still talking to their ex. Right? We probably should throw that in, right?
You can, depending on how y'all talks go.
Yeah, well, I got a feeling them talks don't be too nice sometimes.
If it ain't too nice,
they be filled with a little nonsense, I do believe. So, listen, it was a fabulous show, folks. We would love you to go back, take a look at it. We're all over the internet: Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts, iTunes, Amazon Podcast, and Spreaker. Please get on a platform and just, if you like talk radio, you will love what we have to say, because we're covering some really, really great topics, real life topics. And please like, share, subscribe,
Yes,
send it to all your friends and families, and continue to join us here every Thursday, Facebook Live, right here, 7 to 9, Bar Talk with Jay. Tonight's quote comes from our good old friend Barbara.
Macon, Georgia.
And Barbara's not in the house, but she puts these programs together for us weekly, and she kind of, that's a leadership role. She kind of guides us and makes sure we're always on track during the show.
Thank you.
And she did this quote for us. It goes like this. Every day, take time in your life to meditate in order to refresh your mind and soul, to replenish all the good things to look forward to fulfill your life's accomplishments.
I totally agree.
Right?
You gotta take time to yourself.
You gotta take time to yourself.
That's self-love right there.
Yeah, that is the truest self-love, is just taking time for yourself. You know, we oftentimes can get caught up in the ruts of, going to work, and, we come home, we fall in these routines, and we never really stop and take time for us.
Right.
Maybe that's going to bed a little early, just get you a little extra rest. But what meditation really means is a quiet space. It's a space where you just be quiet. Maybe you listen to some great music, maybe you read through some books, maybe you look at some art or read some poetry, watch some YouTube videos on motivation. Get away to replenish yourself. I tell you, one of the greatest lines I ever heard in my life, and my sales manager used to always tell us this. He said, a dead battery is no good to anybody. And you have to be willing to just find a way to take care of yourself. They always say, go on a plane, you put your mask on first.
Yeah, before you do somebody else.
Before you do somebody else. And yeah, you got to take care of the kids and the family and the house and the boss and the neighbors and all that other stuff in the business. But find a way to take care of you. Maybe that's a spa trip every so often. Maybe that's a vacation every so often. Maybe that's sending all the kids away and you just spend the night at home alone and just refresh your mind. Quiet time does a lot of good for you. So I'm encouraging you folks to meditate a hell of a lot more, because meditation is the key, if you ask me. It's better than almost anything, maybe even sometimes better than prayer. Because what meditation does is it causes your mind to settle. All the dust in your mind will settle, and your spirit can become active in the way it's supposed to have become active. Meditation is supposed to be a part of school. It's like the nap in the middle of the day. Place for a quiet space for God to move in your mind. So, okay, we got some more time, right, boo? We good? Okay, we good. So, what's on your mind, Jay? We got a few minutes, and we're gonna introduce a topic before we get out of here. But
man, one of the things I want to bring up real quick is we're looking for a revamp of what we doing. All right, I was really waiting until our actual anniversary, and then my producer came in the building and said, we're waiting for, we got some things in the work. So I like to say, man, within 2 weeks, we're going to revamp what we're doing right now.
Yes.
So for all the ones paying attention, please keep on. I had some highlights I wanted to do. I ordered some things so we can start doing some giveaways. That's right. I went in my pocket, y'all. All right, I got a little bit of that PP money. All right.
Okay.
I ain't trying to go to jail, but I'm trying to find some ways to get y'all to give some gifts, not just watch, but to encourage people, because what we doing is what I like to say is fundamental. If y'all didn't know, Bill Cosby's out. Okay, they got him on some other charges, and then they finally released him. I like to say I was inspired when I was young when I watched him, and now I like to make sure I encourage people to do more positive things. And it seems like we get caught up every time we start making great progress. So my whole thing is to celebrate us, do something for us, and that's why I'm gonna try to do some giveaways. And I'm also kind of to stay positive in my life, where I can always give, and it ain't just a show, it's me. But again, I'm with a caring crew. We got some events we want to do. They're going to be up and coming. They're going to be out of the country, and one of them going to even be here. I don't know what all y'all up for, but this is adult stuff. Don't bring your kids. It's all going to be adults. So y'all couples that want to come, or the ones that single that just want to kick it with us, we single, we trying to do some things. If y'all want to come out and kick it, we're going to announce some things. I'm not paying for it, okay? I don't want y'all to get it mixed up with the gifts. I'm not paying for that. I'm going to set it up where you can pay and you can come kick it with us, and you'll find out why I'm doing it that way, because we're fun to be around, entertaining, and last but not least, we enjoyable.
Yes.
Everybody good.
Yes. We like to have a good time here. Man. Good time here, just good talk, good fun dialogue. We put each other's backs against the wall a little bit here. We talk about some very edgy subjects, and but I think we're just always trying to bring positivity out of a subject.
I want to have a pajama party.
Pajama party?
Yeah.
I know what you want.
I want a pajama.
Yeah, I like that.
What's wrong with the pajama party?
Ain't nothing wrong with it.
I want to see the women in their pajamas too.
I just know my co-host.
You know something? I felt the knife.
I know how Tommy Brown get out.
Lord, I feel it.
Listen,
it's
folks,
dripping down my back.
It is time for us to take our first break. Tonight we are talking about, did you expect to be single at this point in your life? It's a heavy question, because you got to ask a few more questions even before you get there.
That pajama party probably got me single.
That's it. Yeah. So y'all stay tuned. We hope you enjoy the commercials, the Minecraft clips. We're going to be right back with more Bar Talk with Jay right after this. Welcome back, folks.
Right.
Hope you enjoyed that first segment. We cover a lot of material during that first segment, and our hope is that it gains interest, so that you stick around for more of the show. So we hope you enjoyed the prayer and the quote and the review of last week's show. I just think we do such a great job here, Jay.
Man,
I really do. I'm so proud of the work that we put in. And tonight we're about to tear it up again.
One more time.
We are talking tonight. The question for tonight is, did you expect to be single at this point in your life?
Hell no.
Okay, let's start there. Hell no.
Let's just go back.
Gotta go back. That's the first thing you gotta do when you answer this question.
If you say you wasn't expecting, then you gotta realize what you've been through to see where you at.
Right.
So let's just reflect.
Okay.
I go back to dating, young, having fun, had kids, then monogamous relationship. You know, I say it because I don't like being in it.
Right.
Monogamous relationship, and then long term, and then turn into later on marriage. Now, once I got married, I thought that was gonna be forever. So now that I'm divorced, I've been divorced for almost 10 years now. You be like, did you expect that? No, I didn't see that really coming. And then I go back and I look at some of my actions, or I don't know why I didn't see it, because I didn't do everything correctly. So now I don't sit and discuss. I sit here now trying to be renewed.
Okay.
I really feel like I wasn't ready for a lot of things. And just like everything else that happened to me in life, I used to blame. And I used to ask God, why? Why wasn't that successful for me? Why this? And I ask why all the time. And I stopped asking why, and I started praying for understanding.
Okay.
Now when I asked for understanding, he started showing me that you wasn't ready. You was this one of them knuckleheaded people that wanted, and you didn't even know why you wanted it, and you was not gonna be able to hold what you didn't understand. Now that you asked me, I can start showing you. It failed because of your decision making, because of the fact you wasn't following me. You followed what you wanted. Is what you seen is what you had to have. You didn't understand I'm with you, but you want to act away from me. You wanted to do you. So by I did me, and I thought I was happy, he showed me what you got is a false. So when he just let me do me, I thought I was doing something. I really did, and I thought I was happy. But then I felt lonely. Because see, at that point, why would he be with me and I'm not with him? I didn't turn to him. I was turning to me. I thought I can do.
Turn to the world.
So when I went to the world showed me all kinds of things, and I'm thinking, this is it. This is where I want to be. I turned my back on what had me in the beginning. So when I started going through all my things, and I turned to him and I prayed to him, he said, but you wasn't praying when you was doing what you was doing. You lived the way you wanted to live. Why ain't you happy now? Why are you asking me for more? And you never asked me for understanding what I can give you only if you ask me.
Right.
So when you start praying, please understand your prayer. When it's just a want, don't be surprised when it don't happen. Ask for what you don't understand.
Yes.
He will reveal your problem. And then you can make your own decision. He wants you to think for you.
Yes.
But he's still with you.
Yes.
Even when I thought I was by myself, when I went worldly, I can't never tell you he forsake me. I forsake him. I wasn't going back to him. So my problems was my decision making. So guess what? He helped me realize it was me.
Yeah.
Can't nobody else do that.
Yeah.
I'm just telling y'all,
Yeah.
no matter how religious you are, non-religious you want to be, I promise you, if you don't change you and change what you do, you won't change your altitude or your surrounding. You won't change your people because you're comfortable.
Yeah.
You tend to keep going back to the same people because you're comfortable. That's just what you learn. That ain't what he taught you. Because I have to learn something new all the time. So that means I have to reopen myself to realize it ain't about the hurt. I was scared to be hurt again. He taught me to renew and realize it ain't about the hurt. If you love somebody, you show that love.
Right.
And I will show you it can be returned. Ain't nobody else taught me that.
Right.
That's why I'm the caring person I am today. Willing to give still, even though it has not happened to me. I gotta borrow stuff back from my brother to get it back.
All right.
Right. But guess what? We all go through some things. But I ain't gotta hate on my brother. I can still show him love, and I can still get him to realize I'm still there for him.
Yeah.
We need to stop the crabs in a bucket mentality and understand it's a hand up to a push up, not a pull down.
There you go. So you said so much good stuff right there, Jay. First thing you said was hell no.
Yes.
Right.
Off the rip.
Did you expect to be single at this point in your
No.
life? Now I'll tell you, I have had so many what I call monumental philosophies about marriage and about being single.
Uh-huh.
And it's like, I don't know if my mind is sometimes divided against itself or if there's just different seasons and I keep flowing from one season to another and having to
Tell us about your
renew
man.
my understanding. Yeah, and I'm going to share with you.
Okay.
But, you know, when I was a young man, I saw a beautiful relationship with my parents.
Okay. That's nice.
And it was just so loving, and they were so giving, and they laughed all the time, and they went on the bowling team together. They used to play cards, you know.
Spades?
Oh, bruh, they used to win spade tournaments. My parents was on it, bruh.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Your mama not play spades?
What?
Get her back up here. Oh, mama got to get a whooping.
Yeah, she's 72 now. I don't know how she
Hey,
good, but she
my
should.
mama 82.
Yeah.
What?
So-
It could go down up here.
So I just saw so much love between my parents, and it gave me a vision to have a wife and to have a family. And I saw a lot of people's mistakes as I grew up.
Yeah,
You know, I saw a lot of cheating, you know, from uncles and granddad and cousins and, you know, neighbors, you know, messing with the milkman, you know what I'm saying? I seen it all. And it really put a kind of a rock in my spirit that I never wanted to do that to anybody. I never wanted to be treated like that. A real big rock, and a friend of mine knows exactly what I'm talking about right now, because you know, trusting people is a challenging thing in this for me in these nowadays. You know, but I long for a loving relationship. I said to myself, I'm gonna take my time to get married.
All right.
But when I get married,
So.
it's on and popping forevermore.
Woo! was saying?
And I remember saying to myself, Stacy, you gotta get this right. You can't mess this up. You can't be thinking about yourself.
Right.
You got a good woman. And you know, we went on to have kids.
Right.
And bought homes, and traveled and loved, and it was just absolutely beautiful. And then I ran into this thing where, you know, fidelity issue.
Oh, Lord.
Right? And it caught me by surprise. And because my head was so strong into, you know, I can't wait to celebrate our 50-year anniversary.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's where my head was. That for this to come up shattered my world, bro. It shattered me, you know, for like, more than 2 years, bro. I was just gone, you know. And I was really in a dark place because, you know, here was someone who I gave everything to.
Right.
And yet they let me down. And they let me down in a major way, you know what I mean? So, you know, I tried to work through it, and I fought through it, and so because I wanted to work, I said, you know, shit happens. I've seen it all my life. Shit happens. People make mistakes. Things happen. It happens, right? You know, obviously, I couldn't stick around for the long haul because, you know, she would never admit her scenario. But, you know, that's not really what we're here to talk about now. We're talking about, hey, did I expect to be single? And, you know, even though that relationship terminated, and, you know, I've been quote unquote single for 17 years now, almost 18 years, right?
Listen to that. Like
and
that.
so now I got a whole mentality of, you know, you just gotta love craft and protect craft, and I can't be worried about the rest. And, you know, if somebody good come along, they'll come along. But I really did not ever expect that I was going to be single. I'm a one-woman man. You know what I'm saying?
Did y'all want to hear that? A one-woman man.
I want one great woman in my
How
life.
many times do I hear there's no good men out here? And I'm hearing one say, I am a one-woman man.
I am a one-woman
So
man. That's
all
I-
y'all haters that keep saying that, yo, there is no good. This man is speaking from his heart. He's telling you, he's been through some things. He done got past the 17 years now. I'm pretty sure he got past the 17 years.
Got past it.
But he's still looking for that one special one. Not everyone. So everybody don't flock to the DM.
Right.
But if y'all do, feel free. Fill it up. Holler at my boy. Make him feel good. Because again, he can make you feel better.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's find out what we can do to bring real love back. Because it takes a person that's going to be real and open to open you up to realize it starts within you.
Yeah.
Happiness starts within you.
Yes.
And a loving relationship is when both people already love and they share with each other.
Yeah.
That is what we like to get back to.
Yeah.
But right now it's a use, and you know, you gotta have a bag. You know, if a person got a bag of money, that has no real emotions and feelings. Just understand that. And if I earned it, why am I giving it? But you want it. Okay? So you need to change your thought process, and then again go back to prayer, because if you have a better understanding, you have a better way of getting to me where I will want to share it. You just want it. There's a whole lot of things I wanted in life, but I ain't get it.
Right.
And asking ain't gonna get you everything.
Right.
Some people always say, if you don't ask, you'll never receive. Don't just be asking me for money, because I'm telling you right now, I'm hurt you.
What are you talking about, man?
I'm just saying, you know what? Hey,
No,
boom, you know what I'm talking about. Just ask. Just ask. You ain't gonna receive. You gonna get your feelings hurt.
Yeah.
Tell it.
Yeah.
You gonna receive a hell no to
Yeah.
the no.
Yeah, and
Just
you know,
saying.
and what you're hearing, folks, is some of the pain that a single man goes through.
That's right. That right. At least I can tell you.
That's real talk.
And
Right?
quit asking.
But I never thought, man, I never thought I would be single. I thought I would have, you know, 30, 40, 50 year marriage relationship. And it turns out that I realized it doesn't have to be marriage. It can just be a great relationship. And maybe that is to some degree settling, right? Maybe that's to some degree
But
settling.
where does that great relationship leads right back to it?
Right.
You gotta start from a friendship, and it gotta revolve. So
Right.
I don't think it's just to settle.
Yeah.
It's just to make sure.
But yeah, I'm kind of down on marriage. You know, I don't want no.
You might be, because it didn't work, right?
Yeah. Listen. Let me just go on share this.
Go
Right?
ahead,
Since we talk about
help
being
me.
single, right?
Understand.
This is good, right?
Come on.
So, if I love you and I give all of myself
Right.
and my worldly goods to you, and we share a home, and I help take care of you, and maybe take care of your mama, or you know, help your kids out. You know, if I do all of that, and I'm giving and I'm pouring, I don't need no legal rule telling me what's going to happen if I'm not happy in that relationship. You see what I mean? I don't need no laws telling me what's gonna happen if I'm not happy in my relationship, especially if she the problem.
Oh, say it again,
Right?
bro.
How many men do we know
Shot fired.
got bamboozled in a marriage and was taken because of the law? See, I believe we
I don't
can have
even think it's all
love
men.
without, we can have love without the law.
I think women got taken too. I think some women got married and they feeling some pain behind that.
Well, yeah,
That ain't what they wanted.
That ain't what they want.
They got bamboozled.
Yeah, they got
hoodwinked.
Yeah, and see, I don't want that. I want just the pureness of love. I'm gonna be there every day because I want to be there. I want you to be here every day just because you want to be here. And anytime you decide to leave, you can leave with no repercussions. You ain't got to worry about the man. You ain't got to worry about the judge. You ain't got to worry about no paperwork. You can just leave, right? And you know, I'm always gonna take care of you. You know, take care of you, but you ain't gonna hurt me. Right? You ain't gonna hurt me, especially you didn't put in. That's what happens a lot. You know, you marry
I said that quick. You didn't put
you
in.
marry somebody who wasn't shooting in the gym, and they want to take 50 million.
Because I was there.
Yeah, you was there eating all my, eating all the hog maws. Hey, I like pig feet.
Eating the bomb.
I like hog maws.
You ain't even like you used to be, but yet you still want to take all mine.
Exactly. So I'm afraid of that. I'm a little afraid of that entanglement. You know, that portion where if I made the wrong decision, that somehow somebody's going to take a part of my history. I don't want material things are not that important, but but they are that important if I'm trying to build a fortune or trying to build an empire for my family and my children. And because I fall in love, I don't want to be taken because I fall out of love. And I might fall out of love for all the right reasons, but then yet and still I gotta suffer because of that. And so I'm a little afraid of that. I know that the relationship has to be under the divine anointing. It's got to be put before the Lord, and I think that can happen in a number of ways. Not necessarily, signing a birth certificate, a death certificate, a marriage certificate. You know what I mean?
You ain't down with that certificate.
Yeah, that certificate caused me some concern. That's a good one, Jay.
It can cut your paper.
It's the certificate that caused me some concern, right? But I truly would love to have a special one in my life. And, to live out that life that I saw my parents live out. Now, it just so happens that they ended up in divorce as well.
Okay.
And so now I'm taking a look at this thing like, am I longing for something that really just does not work? And we know people who've been in long-term 30, 40, 50-year relationships, and half of it, maybe even sometimes more, they've been at odds with each other.
Right.
But they stayed for the kids, the home, the family, the money. I didn't have any options, etc., etc. All those reasons and excuses is why they stayed. So are these relationships really working? Are these, I meet you in 2020 and I marry you in 2021 and expect to have a long-term, healthy, happy, loving relationship? Are those relationships working? And it just seems like they are not working. And probably for many common thread reasons. But how you going to watch 99% of the people in front of you fail and think you ain't gonna have some real obstacles when you go try that same race?
Because they think that they can do better.
They think they can do better, right?
Right.
But
they're not looking at stats. They're not understanding that these people have a mindset somewhat could be similar to yours. You too busy on self. And remember, I told you before, two selfish people coming together, y'all keep thinking it's natural. So if I keep hearing the stats, I'm naturally not gonna care.
Right.
Because,
but to not care about those stats, man, is not looking at the facts.
If I care to be married, then why would I want to care and hear the stats of how many people get divorced?
Yeah, well, see, what it should do is put an extreme alarm alert in your head that there is something ahead that 50-60% of the people are not overcoming. I need to pay attention to that. I need to understand what that's all about.
That's it. Because a lot of times
that's what people say.
You got that build up or that ego that be like, if that's what they're doing, why they got to be with me? And again, they're not always taking it all in because they're in their feelings. And again, feelings can lead you away from facts.
Yeah, we're gonna talk more about that, about these stats and how we deal with it. We're gonna take our next break. Hope you guys are enjoying the show. We'll be right back with more Bar Talk with Jay right after this.
back to Bar Talk with Jay.
Yes, welcome, folks.
One of the things I gotta tell you, we got some upcoming things that's coming. I thought we was gonna wait till the actual anniversary, so I gotta give it to y'all live and direct. We gonna make some changes early on. All these things I'm gonna tell you is to tell you a date. Just keep watching, and you're gonna start seeing some changes. The amount of time we're gonna do this, restructuring, and the website. Why? It's time. 5 years. I want to see something different, and if I want something different in my life, I got to show you something different so you can understand the Minecraft and what we doing shows you by what we do.
Yeah.
Quit looking at the same and expecting. If I want something different, I got to do something different. So I'm going to show you something different. Been doing it for now going on 5 years, and it's more time to come. So keep watching.
Yeah.
Keep seeing.
Yeah, we hope you folks are going to enjoy the show, man. We are one of the major changes that we are about to make is we're going from a 2-hour show to a 1-hour show.
Yeah, changes.
And so we're going to take 2 hours of love and impact and wisdom, and we're going to drop it down into 1 hour. And we still going to have Brother Jeffrey on. We still going to have the prayer. We still going to, do our thing fizzle. However, we're just going to do it at a much faster pace, hoping that we can, satisfy more folk. We can actually get folks to finish the show and be ready for the next round.
All day long.
We're really excited about these changes, especially as we enter our 5th year in the season. Man, it's been a great year. It's been a great time. Sitting here for 4.5 years just tells me that I can achieve anything I want. I got dedication. I'm here. We put in all kinds of programs. We've got all kinds of guests. We've had all kinds of topics, and we have met the challenge every single time. And if you folks go back and look at a few of the shows, just catch 10 or 15 minutes of any one of them. You'll see we got down
all day long
in those shows, man. Some of the greatest dialogue I have ever been involved in. So enjoy it. Tonight we are talking about: did you expect to be single at this point in your life? And we're all kind of saying no, we didn't expect to be single. And as you entertain that idea, you have to ask yourself the question: well, am I ready for a marriage? If I didn't expect to be single, but I am single, and so am I going to just stay single, or am I going to expect to find a significant other and move on with a love relationship, right? And I would imagine there are many of you who are listening to this that your history just will not let you move forward. Your past just will not allow you to embrace all that is before you. And there's 2 ways to look at that. You can look at that as God is guiding you.
Right.
God done told you what to do. He done showed you. He's guiding you. The other way is that there potentially is something in you that is hindering you from operating in a normal, healthy, loving relationship. Right?
Right.
So, are you going to stay single, or are you going to get married? How would you answer that question, Jay?
That's going to really be up to you. And I like to say, and I said it before, pray for understanding.
For you personally.
For me, praying for understanding.
Yeah.
And when I say that, I don't pray for marriage. I pray for understanding. Don't ask him to bring you what you ain't ready for.
Okay.
The understanding gets you developed to realize if it's even meant for you, or if he has that in your path. And a lot of times you want what he has something else for you. So you kind of going against what's really there because of your own desires.
So watch this. As it stands with your life right now, do you see yourself or long for in the future at some point a monogamous, loving relationship that just may end up in a marriage?
Yes.
A lifetime partner?
Yes.
You see that for yourself?
I see it for myself, yes.
Okay.
Now, I see it right now? And the answer is no.
Okay.
Why? Because as I ask him for understanding, I don't understand people. You can't ask for something and I want something, and then I deal with somebody that don't even understand me. But you want that to work. That's become difficult.
But
now I'm learning people. I'm learning that some of these issues is again within me.
Okay, that may be the case, but you're never going to learn people.
No, when I say learn, I got to learn the person I'm with. I got to be back to a friendship, understand them, not just expecting. Okay?
Right.
A lot of time if I go into it for a marriage type thought, I have expectations of who she gotta be, what she gonna do, and you're pushing a lot of things on somebody that they might not even be pushing for all that. So my whole thing is to learn them in a way that they would show me, and we can develop, and we can see if it'll work. But a lot of times you push your desires, okay? Because I feel like the time is now. I'm ready, and I want it. And then she like, well, I do, but I got a child. And so I got things. And that all comes to play, but guess what? It might not fit me. So now she's worried about, am I going to leave her or not? You know, am I going to stick around? So it becomes...
So here's what I perceive happening. I think this happens in most relationships. Y'all help me help me identify with this, right? So you're starting to talk to her, you're in a relationship, you love her.
Yeah,
I like her a lot. You know, it's popping, and let's just say she begins to show you some things that you might say, hey, that ain't gonna work for a marriage. Do you talk to her and try to fix it and correct it, or do you just observe her and make a decision from there?
Correction is gonna be up to her. Like, it could be something simple like, I see she on Instagram all the time.
Okay.
My whole thing is, you know, she got some self-esteem issues or whatever, and that's what she does naturally before I meet with her or got with her. I'm like, okay, is it something I can kind of do to keep you away from there, okay? Because everybody don't need to hear your pains, and everybody don't need to see you when I'm trying to be with you. Because if you don't want to let that go, you probably ain't going to accept all what I'm trying to give.
Okay.
Because, see, sometimes people need to feed off other people.
Yeah.
That means you ain't trying to look for me. I'm not going to be your head. I'm going to be, she going to be everybody else's, and she ain't going to be for me. So at that point, I have to make a decision. Do I want to continue or not? See, this is how you kind of figure out what's really for you, being open-minded, not just love-driven.
Right.
Some people get in love and they just love-driven, and they blind to factual information to being shown. I asked for understanding. You ain't understanding if you blinded by love, okay?
Yeah.
You in your feelings and you ain't seeing the obvious. They ain't really paying you no attention to somebody else around.
Right.
When you you notice she kind of cold. She trying to teach you and show you that, hey, you know, I'm a person that been hurt. And I don't like being by myself. But when I'm around a crowd of people, I feel better. And I can show you better. But when we by ourselves, it's not. And you think that's natural. It's okay. Okay, well, that's why.
It ain't okay.
Yeah, it goes left to
center.
center.
It's normal, yeah.
But guess what? You didn't even respond or ask anything because you wanted something more than what you wanted to realize.
Yeah, you know what, Jay? I tell you, and probably one of my, I don't know if I would consider this a problem or not. I probably need to talk to the Lord on it. But I have a tendency to not bring up things, right?
Oh, you don't?
I in my old way. My new way is to kind of, talk it out, bring it out, and I'm really attempting to do that now. But when I was a younger man, I just observed. I just sit back and observe, and if you show me that, you're that person, or you like to do it this way, or you don't understand it my way.
Oh, yeah, doing it that way? Oh, yeah, I like that.
I would probably watch out.
But she doing it.
I would probably just fade. I fade her. I faded a lot of them. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't feel like they were a fit, right? And if you love somebody enough, it's okay to try to help them, with the things that bother you. It may not be a problem for her, right? It may not be a problem for them. But if it bothers you, then, it may be okay to address some of it. But if at a certain point she feels like she constantly is having to satisfy your little needs, it's already going to be some incongruency going on right there. You know what I mean? So why get into all that? I'm learning that probably a great mistake is to start addressing that stuff. Just really pay attention to what's going on, and whatever they show you, that's who they are.
Right.
You know what I mean? And they might be, if they're worth talking to, if they're worth introducing the idea, because introducing the ideas create upset.
It can, but one thing I'll tell you all day long, Kurt, I do it, and it's not to always stir the pot, but I like to stir it from time to time. If I don't give you some things that bother me, you're going to keep bothering me. And my whole thing is I work hard and I deal with so much, and I like to have a peace. And you're not going to give me peace, and you feel like I'm going to hear this, and that's sometimes I get bombarded with somebody that feel like, yo, you need to hear me, and you give it to me. My whole thing is I'm going to tell you as calm, cool, and collective as possible. Don't be bitching at me.
Right.
And they're gonna think that I mean that want them to shut up. No, I want you to talk to me.
Right.
You can debate me. Don't bitch at me. Don't keep telling me the same thing over and over because you feel like I ain't understanding and you gonna say it to me like a child over and over when I'm a grown man and I realize that what you say can be offensive when you keep doing it this way. And you keep doing it and I feel like, okay, at this point, what is it? It's a problem.
Right.
And I don't want to come home to a problem.
Right.
I come home to peace. Now, if I don't address it, I promise you, I'm going to continue having that problem because she ain't getting the results she need, and she's used to it from whatever past relationship.
Yeah.
I got to make sure she real. I'm not that person.
Yeah.
I don't learn like that.
Let me tell you what I have done. I have, rather than address the issue, I change. Right? See, it's very interesting that you start putting expectations on other people.
Right.
It can damage the relationship.
Okay.
So if you see something,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe it's not too far out of whack, it's just something that you don't like, get on your nerve, whatever, that I change. I'll attempt to change, right? Rather than addressing the issue, rather than make it hard, rather than asking them to do something, I'll just figure out, hey, I'll leave when that thing happens. I'll turn away from it. I'll say to myself, oh, it doesn't mean what it looks like, means something else, and I'll figure out a way to deal with it. Cause see, I don't like it when people try to change me, right? And so, unless if I'm missing something, if I'm misunderstanding something,
Right.
and maybe that's where the dialogue will make all the difference,
It can.
But if I'm misunderstanding that's one thing, but if I'm understanding very correctly and maybe you just running game, maybe you just trying to have your way all the time.
I feel like it's going to be game driven because people have their own desire.
Great game
So
driven.
my whole thing is I'm going to give you a desire of mine as well.
Yeah.
Because if you keep giving me something I don't like, I'm not going to find a way to make you feel good about some stuff that I don't like.
But what they're giving you that you don't like is fundamental to their character.
It
It's
can
not
be.
you can
It
be you sometimes, I guess it depends on the situation, but
Right.
do you believe that you're going to change years and years?
No.
I mean, does a
No.
woman believe
No.
that she can change years and years of a man's interest in looking at women when she with him?
To her, yes.
I mean, she thinks that she
Yes.
can, but she can't.
Because I'm going to be in front of him and I wish he would.
Yeah, and he
And that's
does.
a mentality that a lot of men. I wish he would.
Yeah, well,
And
instead
that
of looking
don't
2 feet in
change,
front
but
of him, he'll
that's
look
good.
20 feet in front of him. He gonna find them. And if that's what
But he
he's
gonna
looking
do it behind my back. He ain't gonna do it in my face. I bet you. I wish he would.
Why would he?
The head
And if that's what he
slang,
does
all
when
that.
he with you, what the hell you think he doing when you ain't?
Well, if whatever he doing then, he better do it then because he know when he get here, he gonna answer.
You see that? You see that character flaw I'm talking about?
Oh, it's a
That
huge one.
So
but if you don't
addressing.
address it, I promise you, it's gonna stay there because
It's
to a
gonna
lot of
stay.
people, they're not gonna. They always say happy wife, happy life.
Yeah.
You heard that, right?
I heard that.
So that means my life don't mean nothing. Let me tell you something right now. Whoever said that, kick rocks, okay? Because it is never gonna be just a way. It got to be conducive to both. I need a happy wife, happy husband. If
Happy
I'm not
husband.
happy and she happy, you think she can't make me happy. If I choose a wife or I choose a significant other, if you think that person's gonna be, you are sadly mistaken. It happens with inside your damn self. You looking at somebody else to fulfill your hurts, your pains, and I'm telling you, you for self-destruction is not gonna happen. What's gonna happen is you're gonna find defeat. Cause it's going to defeat the person you dealing with. Cause you ain't dealing with the problem inside. We always look outside, not inside. That's why it's so hard for relationships to work. My whole thing is when you start loving yourself, I promise you I look at relationships different. Because I'm not looking for her to make me happy.
I'm not looking for her to make me.
So
happy.
when I'm not looking for her to make me happy and she see I'm happy without her, she moves differently. Because she used to a depressed man. She used to a person that's evil.
Yeah.
And I'm not showing evilness. I'm not showing ill will. I'm showing happiness with and without. And I want that, because you have to show. I notice a lot of times a woman gets engaged and other men want to holler at her. And everybody want to know, why would you want to holler at an engaged woman? Because she shows signs of happiness. When she might have showed signs of frustration and ill will because everything been turned against her. But when she get that one person that puts an interest ring on her finger. She feels powerful. It glows. It radiates. All of a sudden now you see her different. It ain't like you really want her, but you just love the happiness.
Yeah.
Then she wonder all of a sudden why everybody paying me attention, because you glowing, you don't even know why.
Right.
And that's what people really want to gravitate to. They just didn't know. I promise you, if you're an ill person, talk about people, don't even bring your behind around. I really don't care for that. You can be fine as hell. I still look at you. I'm just telling you, I don't want you.
Right.
You know why? Because you're going to do the same thing behind my back as you did in my face.
Absolutely.
You're putting everybody down, and then I'm a person that's lifting up. I'm opposite of everything I try to do.
Right.
I want a person that can enhance.
Enhance. Yes.
That ain't enhancing.
Bring value
That's
to the table.
that's destroying.
Yeah.
But then you want to attach to me because you want to change you, but you really don't want to change. You just want to change your image.
Right.
I'm bigger than your image.
Right.
I've been bigger than your image before you met me, but you want to use me because that's what people do sometimes.
Yeah, and you know what's real interesting about that is I have an image of myself,
That I portray.
and I don't want nothing outside of that image. If you don't fall into the game with me the way I kind of see it, I'm open to some shifts,
Right.
but I think I'm fundamental baseline. You know what I
Nothing wrong
mean?
with that.
So, if fundamental baseline, you can't get with that. Oh, we got a real serious problem here. You know what I mean?
Well-
So, listen, we're kind of all over the place, but it's really making sense to the topic, and I hope you folks are enjoying it, getting it, understanding it, aligning with it. Stay tuned. We're going to be right back for more Bar Talk with Jay. Right after this.
Alright. Welcome back with Bar Talk with Jay, back in the building, baby.
Welcome back. Welcome back. We are tearing this subject up tonight. man.
Yeah, we got to though, man.
Yeah. Did you expect to be single at this point in your life? One of the things that you said is that you're not open-minded, but you're love-driven. That'll get you in trouble,
And
right? That'll get you in mind. If you are looking for a relationship in your life, you gotta have an open mind and not be love-driven. Because if you're love-driven, you will make decisions, you will do things, you will go out of your comfort zone, out of your way
for the wrong thing.
to be in a relationship with people, and they may not even be the right people for you, right? But that is so powerful. The other thing I really like that you said, Jay, is that people don't make you happy.
They don't.
And when you think about your life, folks, you know, whether you want a relationship or not a relationship, you should know right now, right out front, people are not going to make you happy. It's not going to be people that make you happy. And that is so incredible. That is just an awe-inspiring comment, because if you go into a relationship expecting someone else to make you happy, you will be disappointed.
Right.
You need to bring your happiness to the table, they need to bring their happiness to the table, and you may be able to create something fulfilling between the two. But she cannot build what is not there in you.
No.
And you cannot replenish what is not there in her.
No.
You may be able to support one another through your downfalls, through your troubles, but if they're not happy people,
They're not.
they're probably not going to make you happy, right? And we know, especially us men, right? We know that there have been some really, really beautiful women who, under no circumstance, would ever make you happy, right? You cannot go out and get into a relationship, you know, and expect that this person is going to make your world. And I don't think there's any more to say on that subject, you know.
I like to say, Crab, you remember the time you met somebody and you'd be like, man, she is fine.
She is fine.
And you be like, okay, now you got to get, you know, the alpha male in you, the hunter. You got to get your courage up and be like, I got to say something to her. I'm not going to let this one just walk away.
Right.
You go up there and you have a conversation, and you don't come up with a corny line like, hey, pretty lady. You just come up and say, hello, how are you doing? and they come back as ratchet as heck. Who you?
Yeah.
What your name, shouty? And it's like, you know, automatically it kind of deflate the ego of what you thought she would say. You anticipate. See, that's when you kind of love driven. You anticipate her saying something romantic, nice. She looks that way.
She looks that way,
But man, what's going on with you? Okay. And you like, really? You don't want to say no because you opened it up.
Yeah.
You didn't know what you opened.
Yeah.
And that's why I say.
But even in that,
Uh-huh.
you still can't quite judge a book by its cover.
No, don't get me wrong,
You know?
bruh, just because
she might have that old New Orleans in them.
And ain't nothing wrong with New Orleans. But you might find out she can't cook at all. I'm talking about she overcooked hot dogs.
So, let's
She burned water.
Oh my God! Could you be with a woman, Jay, who could not cook? Now, what we talking about here?
Hold on.
People don't make you happy, right?
But see, I ain't gonna say cooking makes me happy, but I've been around people that can cook, so now I'm to a point where I can cook. So if I have a person that has some fundamentals and they don't know how to cook a lot of things that I might like,
Yeah.
I can deal with that. But you talking about not cooking at all, and I already took the initiative to learn how to cook, and you don't have none.
Maybe she brings something else to the table, Jay.
It better be a whole lot of something.
Yeah, it's got to be a whole lot.
But
That
see,
cooking
without
thing
that
is big.
whole lot of something, then it's willing for me to see if I can offset and make it work. My whole thing is I know what I bring. And that's where I feel like the strong point would be you gotta know you. So I don't have to judge her by all the things she can do or attribute of she can or she can't.
And you don't. So how would you feel? Let's just say she just grew up in that world. She just don't cook. She's not a cooker. She didn't,
And guess what? If she can,
Can
she can still nurture me in a way that's like feeding me, where she can inspire me.
Yeah.
Then yes, if she requires me to do everything for her because she's just used to being catered to,
Right.
then no, because at this point you're asking a lot of me and I don't know you.
Yeah.
So now I'm used to a man that can do everything for me. My whole thing is, okay, so what are you really bringing at this
Yeah. And if you got a woman who don't cook, you probably spend a lot of money.
point? I tend to think that, yes, you are correct.
If she ain't cooking, then there's gonna have to be another kitchen.
Somebody got to
prepared.
do something.
That means you're gonna be spending some dough just to have her in your life.
And I ain't gonna lie to you, for a person that can cook, I spend a lot of money too.
Yeah, for the person who can't cook.
Because I have to make sure, I feel like it ain't, if she can cook, I feel like it's right for me to pay for food.
Right.
Because I have to offset.
Yeah, as long as it's going down. As long as
I
it's
have to
happening.
wash the dishes. I want to offset because I want to enhance our relationship, not hinder.
Right.
To her, she got to feed her kids. She got to do things. That's how she learned. I'm not talking about all, but some people learn how to cook.
Yeah.
So to me, that's how she learned. But her kids might not have cleaned up right after.
Yeah,
They might not have paid for the meal. So my whole thing is to offset where she don't feel like I have to do this for this man.
Yeah, and see, and as far as the cooking thing, cooking is big in a household. It's big in a family. It's a major stronghold in a house and in a family, and even in a relationship. And if she can't cook, you gonna have to find another way, But here's the thing:
hold on.
if she can't cook,
No, let's talk about the one that can't cook because I like to touch them.
Yeah, and
because I don't want them to give up on life. Because let me tell you something. I knew somebody that couldn't cook. When I tell you she couldn't cook, bro, she called me in the stove and she was like, "I'm trying to find this filet mignon." I said, "Just know filet mignon is not a fish." Okay, if this person was not used to cooking. But let me tell you how a transformation can happen within a person.
Yeah, that's what I want to hear. Right?
She went to the store to get something because her father asked her to. And she was still willing to. She didn't want to tell her father she couldn't. She just did it. Her whole thing is her mom knew and everybody around her, but dad wasn't really grew up with her.
Yeah.
But her whole thing is she had enough confidence that she could call on her friends and she worked her way through it. But what I like in the resolve of her, she ain't never quit on herself. I might not be good at it, but at least I tried.
She tried.
So she went to the store.
That's what I wanted to say.
And she went and she tried. And guess what? She was successful. She got everything that was needed.
Listen.
And everybody else looking at her like,
might-
you can't do this? I showed you what I could do.
You might not be able to cook,
Mhm.
but you can bake some chicken and make some rice-a-roni. You know what I'm saying? You can figure out how to put together a Kraft macaroni and cheese and a cup and a nice can of spinach. With
A
some
little extra
fried
Velveeta.
Yeah. And so what it comes down to is not the talent, it's the effort.
And again, when you got somebody that's willing to put forth the effort, think about it. This person couldn't cook, but she was willing to go to the store and do what she wasn't even comfortable to do. But she did it. She had to ask some people, but she went through it. She didn't call the person that knew she couldn't.
Right.
She did. Now, but the thing that hurt her is the fact that they didn't appreciate it.
Now,
know what
and
I'm
that
saying?
hurts a lot.
Right.
You don't
because
know. You don't even know that's
I
not
put
your
forth
game.
an effort, and you can't even say thank you.
Right.
And I appreciate. No, it's everybody know how to do this and that. But she did something that she wasn't comfortable doing, but she did it for you.
Yeah.
And you couldn't even recognize because you didn't even know her.
Yeah.
You didn't know her to a point that you didn't care.
Yeah.
So, when you talk to people like that, that's what I'm telling you. There's a lot of wounded people off of people. And they don't even know, but they just want to be loved. They just want to be understood.
Yeah.
And it ain't just in their cooking, but I promise you.
It ain't just in their cooking. It's in their attempt to love
I
you.
promise you, get her out the kitchen in the bedroom, she'll change your whole life.
Right.
Okay?
Right. But listen.
She'll change your
But
whole
if
life.
you go into bed weak because you ain't home, you ain't ate.
I'm going to tell you something right now. She going to put you to sleep. Your stomach might wake you up.
No, I
Oh, she
listen,
put you to
it
sleep.
ain't gonna be no hardcore sex without no energy, bro.
I'm going to tell you right now. That's why she going to put you to sleep.
It ain't
You
going
going
down.
to use all you
listen.
got to finish what you need to do.
Hey, listen, man does not live by bread alone.
They might not. Listen, you might need some water. You might need some water. Because I'm
So,
telling you,
Yeah, listen.
change your life.
Listen, the greatest love in the world ain't gonna make up for we need to take care of some
Now,
business.
first of all, if you knew she couldn't cook, your ass should have got a hamburger before you got home.
Yeah, and oftentimes you probably will.
You what?
My fault. Is it time about a break?
Is it right? No.
So, my mother could not cook when they got married
Right.
because my mother was the fourth daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And so being the last daughter, she the baby girl, she didn't have to cook. All the older girls was cooking, right? And so she got married right out of the house, right out of high school, and she didn't know how to cook. But now she got a family.
Right.
She had seen her mama do a few things. She tried a few things here and there. And my dad said it was a many a nights. That he said, baby, don't worry about it. Let's
I
go
got
on
it.
this
Yeah.
Don't worry about it, baby. Let's go on. Let's get some churches or some Wendy's or something, And he said after a while, she started to get it. And once she got it,
She got it.
she got it.
Okay,
bro.
I'm going to go ahead because you said something. My ex-wife going to kill me.
Okay.
She know this one, and if she listening, my phone going to blow up.
Right.
But I got to give it to her. I was here in Georgia, and I went back home. And when I went back home, I had my kids already and everything. And she was just happy that I went back to Akron. And she cooked me some pig feet because my mom used to do that for me.
Right.
So she wanted to do something special. So
That's beautiful.
She
man.
made me some pig feet.
Yeah.
It seemed beautiful.
But it wasn't quite.
Bro, she cooked them about an hour and a half.
No, not long enough.
I'm talking about, dog, that's just long enough to get the dirt off of. So she cooked them, and they came out and had steam coming from it and everything.
Yeah.
And it was already cut in half, bro. So I'm sitting there like, this is nice. I ain't think you was gonna do this. You cooking something you don't even normally do.
Right.
Yeah, you did this.
Right.
Stabbed it. I swear that thing wanted to kick me. It was still alive. I stabbed it.
Yeah.
And the fork stood straight up. You supposed to fall apart.
Yeah, it's supposed to fall
Bro,
apart.
that mother went straight up.
Oh,
And
goodness.
immediately, I ain't have to bite it to realize we had problems.
Yeah, you had
So
problems.
you look up at her and she was like, "What's wrong?"
Well, baby.
This right here, this could be a listen. I'm gonna call my old bottle at this point. But what I loved about it is she fixed it. She went back to her, and her whole thing is, and to this very day, it never ever happened again. But the thing is, and I picked because she was young and she was willing to do.
She was willing to do, and
Since
that's what
then,
they talk about.
I can't even mention a
Yeah.
meal that wasn't on point,
Yeah.
or she didn't do an effort that me and the kids did not enjoy.
Right.
If my kids ever say to this very day that they didn't have a decent meal, I can only say that they need to grow up and be real because she sacrificed in there when she didn't know and she learned. And she did it because of us.
Yeah.
How she didn't want to see us disappointed.
And see, how did we get on this subject? We were talking about people don't make you happy. But we're talking about people
People that can't cook.
People that can't cook. People who
But they can learn.
They can learn, and it takes that loving patience. It takes, for my dad, it took a couple of years before Mom's got it right. She had food on the table, but she couldn't put them good greens and them good beans together. She wasn't at the cornbread stage yet. She hadn't moved up to pig feet quite yet.
Oh yeah, she had the same thing. You had that fork sticking.
But she always had the effort. And that's what the most beautiful part about it is that, they can't make you happy, but if they're trying, that should make you happy. Right? That people's effort, it may not be what you want or how you want it, but if they're trying, you need to be pleased with that. Yes. Because if you reject that, or if they don't feel appreciated, their work is in vain. Because they're only doing it for you. They don't do it. That's not what they're due, but they'll do it for you. If fellas, that if you got a wife that you got a big yard and you out there in the yard and your wife put on her work clothes and come out in the yard with you, man, that just make a man want to cry. That just make me like, oh my God, man, I know you don't do this, but she picking up leaves, she cutting hedges, it's effort, and that will fill in the gaps to make you happy in a relationship.
I love effort, and I'm gonna tell you, I had some that got out there with me when I was doing certain things. I worked on cars that came out there with me. Now, not to judge anybody, but I've dated somebody that didn't do nothing outdoors. They didn't care for nothing outdoors, but they'd be in the window watching.
Yeah,
okay?
Support.
But when I tell you cook, we'll go out to nice restaurants, and she's tasting, so she can figure out how they did it to surprise you and do it for you.
That's great right there.
And I'm wondering,
that's
because
great right there.
she's taking more time on her food, knowing she can eat it, but she's taking more time, taking a little bit with her. Not asking too many people, she's just keeping to herself.
Yeah.
And then you come back a week later and that same meal is
She's preparing for you.
But the crazy thing is, it's a taste palette that she knows you like.
Right.
So when I tasted the food that they did, which was a good one, it was a very expensive meal.
Yeah.
I thought it was good.
Yeah.
She thought it'd be better with a little paprika, a little extra seasoning, because it wasn't bland. It was just she had a taste palette that knew. And I know how you say you like.
The most beautiful part of that story is that she's checking so that she can do it for you.
Yes. And that's what I'm telling you.
And listen, if you ever asked yourself if you thought you'd be single at this point, you probably are saying, if I found me a woman like that, if I found me a woman who would go the distance for me, I would probably be interested in marriage or a lifetime relationship.
Now you could, but let me tell you also. We're going to come right back on that one.
I want to hear this. Y'all stay tuned. We'll be right back with more Bar Talk with Jay.
Right after this. Welcome back.
All right, welcome back.
What y'all know about that Power Hour?
Yeah, that's a game changer, bro. That's a game changer.
Power.
You come home any given night and you say, I'm gonna do 1 hour of X, whatever that is. Set the clock on your phone, set the alarm on your phone, and go tackle it. There's that closet you need to clean out. There's that project you need to do. Exercise, whatever it is, set the clock and get it done. And don't wait until 10, 11, 12 o'clock. Get it done right now. Right? It's 6, 7 o'clock and you want to spend that power hour. Go ahead and knock it out right now. You'll feel so much better the rest of the night because you will have accomplished the daily objective.
Exactly.
So that's a real powerful one. It just helps you be more effective in life.
I like it.
I'm all about that. So tonight we're talking about, did you expect to be single at this point in your life?
Nope.
Let me ask you this, Jay.
What's that?
Are there any disadvantages to being single?
I like to say sometimes yes, because when you're single and I date multiple people, I have to share a lot of time that I really feel like I got to reinvent myself dealing with different people. When you deal with somebody that's a good person and you really like, I also date somebody that I don't agree with as much, you know what I'm saying? And I feel myself learning so many different things that I get confused. It's not confused about who I'm with. I understand who I'm with.
Right.
Because again, I'm attentive to a person, but I really feel like, at this point, I'll be like, yo, it'd be nice if I just learned one. I'm learning multiples, and I feel like some people have more issues than others.
Right.
And I have to still address them because I care enough that at this point, if you're in my circle, I feel like it's always going to be a circle of influence. I want to influence you more in a positive way than a negative way, and everybody has these different things.
Right.
I feel like I lose a little bit of me dealing with all these different things.
Right.
So I can tell you it can be very puzzling because people are different, and it can be challenging. But I will tell you some things you have to go through for you can figure you. Because as I say, I'm puzzled with them, how I'm puzzled with me too.
Okay.
As I'm puzzled, they make me unpuzzled because I realize, something, I see a lot of value in you when nobody else see. And my whole thing is I bring out the best in the person because I understand that dark spot, okay?
Right.
And I know I wasn't always whole. And he makes sure I know that. So when everybody want to act perfect, I'm the one to tell you I'm not.
Yeah.
And he made me imperfect because that's what makes me go back to him. Where everybody think they all that. I don't.
Right.
But I promise you, going back to him, I can come back to you better than what you think you really are.
Right.
You think he shows.
Right.
It's going to be through me because sometimes it's a vessel. And that's just how it goes. That's why I love meeting you. You never know how we encourage one another. When I get disappointed and I'll be like, and I'll call you, and I'll call you out the blue, and you'd be like, yo, Jay, that ain't you. And you already got a different way of looking at it. Why? Your way makes me automatically know it's a comfort because you ain't judging. It's like, Jay, you got to see it this. And when you do that, it comforts me because I know you're speaking directly to me.
Right.
Not, Jay, I'm impressing. Listen, this is what I would say on air. No, it's Jay. I know you, Jay. That's you, and that makes you feel more complete. And you be like, okay, I'm gonna give my undivided attention because you get it because you get it.
Yeah, you get it because you get it. Yeah, exactly right. So, the question for tonight is: did you expect to be single at this point in your life? And I want to kind of turn the corner on the conversation. Let's talk about the pros and cons of being single. Okay.
How you want to talk?
And so I'm just going to rattle off a few of them.
Go ahead.
And
I'll rattle back.
Yeah. Single life. Some people's single life can often be lonely. Not yours. But normal people. You ain't no normal person.
All I can say, it could be, but listen, there's some
Just
lonely,
because you have a bunch of people in your
there's
house.
some lonely times that's needed.
Yeah.
I was afraid to be alone.
Yeah.
So I had more people around me than I should have because I was fighting a fear. When I took more time to myself, I had more people around me because of the joy that I realized, the fear I tackled, and then they became more willing.
Yeah. Sometimes people may feel like something is missing from their life, right? Sometimes there's a lack of intimacy, right? You ain't got nobody to share the rent with. You ain't got nobody's shoulder to cry on. In most cases, you can't share your experiences with your mate. Over time, loneliness will create social isolation.
It can.
So you've been single for a long time. It might you might have lost your skill set. You know what I'm saying? To go out and talk to people, or whatever. They suggest that mental problems are related to being single because you don't have somebody to communicate with on a regular basis. You got to know, Jay, that the average single person is really alone. They go to work, they come home, they don't even have, they ain't on social media and all that stuff. They just don't have nobody special in their life. And it could be for many reasons. If you live in small town USA, everybody done been through everybody. You know what I mean? You ain't you ain't leaving because you own a 1,000-acre farm, but you got to go out of town and recruit. But they do suggest that there are some people who develop mental problems being single. And sometimes life is just easier with a partner, right? So there are some things that we miss. Let's talk about some.
Hell no, we're going back to that later.
Right.
Because you think about it, alone, social issues, and my whole thing is you got to realize it can be depressing being alone.
It can be depressing being alone.
Very much so.
Absolutely.
But what can get you out of that depression is understanding why you're alone. A lot of times you want to blame. when you get away from blaming, you can understand you better, and then you become a stronger you. Now at that point, you will start attracting from a flock of people that you was around that you didn't even see. You will see that they have more interest in you because you're moving differently.
Yeah.
You're differently.
Yeah.
And that's what I feel, because I don't see why people stay alone. Because my whole thing is when you get renewed and you understand, sis, when you change. Now, please understand, it's change. Not I'm staying the same and I'm scared. No, I'm getting to a point where I'm changing. People can reflect to the change because how I act. So now somebody that prejudged me and knew me as a hoe, and that's why I'm by myself, realized I'm by myself by choice. Because now I'm moving differently and I'm acting. That's what I'm saying. Because I don't want to make it seem like that's the only way it can be. It can be different ways.
Yeah. This is just suggesting that if you spend a lot of time alone, your social skills dwindle. And your people skills dwindle. Maybe even your caring skills dwindle. Maybe even your talking skills dwindle. Maybe, that there are some challenges. Maybe you talk to yourself a lot more, and maybe you don't become almost crazy in your bipolar, your small bipolarness. But being alone, I don't believe is a good thing for anybody.
It can be in a moment, in a season.
Yeah.
It can be a season.
Yeah.
My whole thing is too long. It can be, and I like to say, if you stay there, yes, it can be. But overall, it's a seasoning.
Right.
Because once you understand some things, you can make some changes to some things, and then 9 times you won't stay there.
Yeah, because there are people who are single and don't want to be single, and if you are single and don't want to be single, that means you're probably pursuing. You're going out. You're going to events. You're hanging around people. You're trying to meet people. Mm-hmm. But there are a lot of people who are experiencing loneliness because they don't go out. They don't, they don't chop it up with the world. They don't get into the midst of people. They're not meeting anybody, and ultimately, if you don't want to be single, then you got to do something about it.
Yeah.
And
you
I
don't
think
want to
that's
be single.
really
You need to come over here, Bar Talk with Jeff.
Yeah. Watch this. You're gonna love some of the pros. I know you're gonna be right along with this.
All right.
Some of the pros of being single.
Mm-hmm.
Being single gives you access to different partners.
Okay.
It allows you a higher level of freedom.
Okay.
You are more flexible compared to when you are in a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
You can follow your passion.
Okay.
Being single allows you to work quite hard. You can put a lot of hours in at work, not having any repercussions.
I need that.
Quality of sleep can be much higher when you are single. Right?
Yeah, I know some people that want to keep you up all night.
Stress levels are lower. One of the pros. You don't have to take care of your partner's problems.
Who you telling when they don't want to quit?
Being single allows you to travel.
Oh yes.
You can learn how to deal with frustration before you have to deal with somebody else's frustration.
That's always helpful.
It says your relationship should not be the focus on your life. Chances are that you will have more time for your friends if you're single. So there's a lot of great benefits, and I'm only bringing this out to get everyone listening to this to really ask yourself the question, is this where I want to be? Am I going to be here in the next 10 years? Am I going to be here for the rest of my life? Mm-hmm. Is this what my life is going to look like? I'm going to be single. I'm going to be, a little lonely. I'm going to, not have anybody to talk to, nobody to care for, nobody to care for me.
Nope.
I want everybody listening to the sound of my voice to ask yourself the question, what do you really want? Do you really want a loving long-term relationship? Do you really want a spouse? Do you really want a girlfriend? Do you really want a marriage? Do you really want a significant other? Do you really, really want it? And I'm of the notion that if you really, really want to be in a relationship, that your spirit will take you there.
Yeah.
But it's not going to take you there sitting on the sideline.
No.
Right? It's not going to take you there sitting in your living room thinking that you'll never have a special someone in your life.
No.
It's not going to take you there when you've been invited to the church picnic and you don't go. It's not going to take you there. You got to go and get involved. You got to go and make something happen. Right? The decision is not just a decision of the mind. It has to be a decision of action as well.
I agree.
Right? It has to be a decision of receptivity.
Ooh, reset. I like that.
Receptivity, to receive, to accept. someone into your life, to
Say it,
accept
Greg.
someone that you want to have conversations with on the phone, that you
Yes.
want to go out with, maybe to a movie, or to have dinner with somebody on Sunday afternoons.
Yes.
Somebody to make love with on Tuesday,
Ooh,
Wednesday
say it,
night,
Greg.
you know what I mean? Somebody to knock down
Oh.
on Friday night.
Man, really? What?
Oh no!
Hey, it's time for the late show.
Right?
That's what
Right?
you say.
So I want you folks to really just embrace this whole concept of asking yourself, hey, what do I want in life? I have been single for the last 17, 18 years,
Right.
quote unquote single. I've had ladies, you know what I'm saying? I've had girlfriends.
We all have.
I've had 3 major girlfriends in those years. And
I
they
had-
all
I had
taught me
something like
something. All
Something like that.
13, huh? Right.
June 19th. Everybody, June 19th.
June 19th.
Yeah,
June 19th.
everybody remember the Juneteenth.
Yeah. So, but if you are decided that you are good with where you are,
Mhm.
then you don't need to do nothing different.
I'm doing something.
But if you want someone in your life,
Mhm.
you gotta go and get it. And I'm encouraging you, when you get it, be open to it. But pray over it. There's just. I know you don't want to make a mistake. You don't want to make the same mistake that you
No,
made
no.
last time. And last time you had an alcoholic, or he didn't treat you right, or he didn't spend money right, or he didn't have good hygiene, or didn't take care of the house.
Didn't hit it
or,
right.
right? But and you don't want to go into all that again. So maybe this is just a little advice as you move toward the idea of wanting to be in a relationship. I said it last week too. Seek companionship. Right? Seek companionship. You don't have to necessarily be in a relationship to be fulfilled with a partner. Sometimes you can just have someone to be able to call, and someone to be able to talk to, somebody maybe to spend a holiday with. It doesn't have to be attachment. It doesn't have to be handcuffs. It doesn't have to be.
Hold on, now.
I own you.
You get free. You get free
It doesn't have to be I own
handcuffs.
you, right? It could just be y'all, chop it up every once in a
I
while.
don't know. I'm back to the handcuff.
I like the handcuffs.
What?
But I ain't getting
I don't
handcuffs.
want you going
Listen,
nowhere.
You're not gonna put no handcuffs on me.
No, ain't hitting you.
Yeah,
But I handcuff you.
exactly.
If you like
So,
to get whipped, I got one.
there you go.
Got a paddle too?
We're gonna come back in a moment and close out this show with a bang. Again, we hope you were enjoying it, and we're gonna see you right after this. We'll have more Bar Talk with Jake right after this.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Bar Talk with Jay.
Yes.
What do you say? Don't victimize.
Yeah.
That's that Kraft Mac.
Yeah.
That right there. Victimize. Don't be a victim. I like to say victim. Be a victim. A lot of times people play the victim.
Play the victim. Yeah.
And my whole thing is, for innocent people, they ain't even where you want to be.
Right.
And that's why we got to be more observant to
Yeah.
understand what goes on. We're dealing with a lot of stuff. I didn't see me being single right now. How do you deal with it? Do you deal with
And
it?
listen, and if you wake up one day and you say, "Man, I wasn't expecting to be single right now,"
Hmm?
is that a bad thing? Is that is
Being-
that assessment a bad assessment? Like maybe I did something wrong, or I'm
Right.
not doing something right, or is it that, hey man, I really haven't opened myself to a relationship, or man, I keep meeting a bunch of knuckleheads and a bunch of bad people. I mean, what do you say to yourself when you ask yourself that question?
I say a lot of times when I meet somebody, am I more open to realize what I'm dealing with and what I do compared to where I want to go? I shut down about who I meet compared to where I want to go. A lot of times when I have failures in relationships and long term and marriage and all the rest, I put my work in front of me. I wanted to hide from my feelings because I already knew my feelings would make me make decisions other than what I cared for.
Right.
So as I dealt with work and I did everything else, I would revisit what I ran from. I
Right.
revisit.
Right.
So some of the lonely times is the times of healing when you realize You can't run from reality. You can't run from what you went through. But again, it shelters you when you have something else to go to. So my drive was always there, but I had to refocus, because if I kept my drive there, I end up right back where I was if I started another relationship. So I took the time. I didn't take enough time.
Yeah, and see, I'm of the notion now, and as we close, I just really kind of like to share my perspective on this subject. You know, I look at life, and there's been many a time. Let me just tell you a story. There's been many a times where during these years of not being married, 17, 18 years, where I had my head down working. I had my head down grinding. I'm getting it in. I'm working 90-hour weeks. I'm not dating a whole lot. I might have a friend or two I talk to on the phone. And then one day, in the midst of all that, or maybe it's at the end of, some major project that I had, I'll start feeling like I want some special company. I want somebody to be around here. I'm talking to somebody on the phone, but I want to talk to somebody who I like and who I want to be with.
Somebody just ain't on the phone with somebody else.
Yeah, not just be on the phone with somebody, right?
Right.
And let me tell you, man, in my spirit, and this has happened like 4 times in my life.
Right.
In my spirit, I just start saying, Lord, I can't pick her. I don't know who she is. I don't know what she's doing. I don't know where she's at. I don't know how to find her. I might not even know what to say to her when I see her, right? And so, Lord, I just need you to come into my life and just bring that companionship that I'm looking for, right? I just need you to come and bring a special someone, and they may not be here forever. Maybe it's just a seasonal thing that you might introduce me to, but I need you to fill this void. I need you to fill this space. And I don't really call it loneliness. I just call it longing for substance. You know what I mean? It's not that I'm without anything. It's that I just would love to have more sustenance and more substance in my life. And I'm going to tell you, somehow, every single time, and I say miraculously, but it's just God's way, He'll reveal somebody special. Right? I can, listen, you, me, Boo, all us fellas, we're strong people in the world. We're grown men. We know how to go out. We can go out to any club, any party, any night, and meet women and go have great times, right? That's just, that's easy to do. But when you are looking for someone of substance, that in my mind, I think it's important to refrain from all of that activity so you can create a space for the right one.
Oh.
Right? You're probably not gonna meet Mrs. Right if you got 6 women. Even if you meet her, you ain't gonna know her. You ain't gonna see her if you're talking to 5 or 6 women, right? Because you're not gonna be able to focus enough attention on understanding her, and she might, because it takes time and commitment to understand them. And if you so busy, you know what I mean, you'll spend Tuesday night with her, but you ain't worried about having lunch with her on Sunday or going to church with her, during the weekend. You just all about a good time. You're not about getting to know a person. You spread too thin to get to know her.
Sometimes thin get too thick. You gotta whip it up. Whip it up, baby.
Thin does not get too thick.
It don't?
No, thin does not.
Well, hell sound good.
Yeah, it is.
I thought it happened.
Right? But
at least I tried.
Yeah, I think it's important that you just create a space if you're looking for some, a significant other in your life. And I have done that on numerous occasions, and the Lord's filled every single time. And so what I'm attempting to encourage you folks to do is, if you're feeling something inside of you about being single, if you're feeling something inside of you about longing for companionship or longing for a friendship, sometimes it's just longing for company, right? Sometimes you're just longing to not be alone, right? You're just longing for the experience of other people.
Okay.
Take it to the Lord, and He will come to the rescue. It'll be a very short period of time if you go to the Lord very clearly, very decisively, and you say, Lord, I'm feeling something. I don't know, I don't want this feeling of, it maybe feels a little lonely. Maybe it feels like I'm not talking to quality people. Maybe it feels like I don't have a special someone in my life. Maybe it feels like I just need the company of a woman around a little bit more. I don't want to decide what that is, Lord, but I know that you know exactly what I need. I know that you know exactly what is good for me. Please, Lord, don't send me back into the same troubles that I came out of. Send me, Lord, into new grounds where there can be a rebuilding, where there can be a friendship, where there can be a love relationship, where there can be nurturing of one another, where there can be supporting of one another, where we can be partners and friends and confidants. And, give me some of the special things that you don't necessarily have to be in a marriage to have those qualities in a relationship.
I agree.
And so, ask God for the qualities. That's the point I want to make here, Jay.
And when you said that, I'm going to tell you what I will say real quick and equate it to me. It goes back to asking God for understanding.
Yes.
To have an understanding of what I do. Why am I doing it? Can you help me understand what I need to do for you in your light? See, I act out of me, of a necessity of what I've seen. You gave me sight, so you gave me thought, so I have visions other than you. And you wonder why I was led astray, just like we all are. Because again, other people put visions in front of you to lead you.
Yeah.
But you forget what he has inside of you. He gave you the gift when you're looking at something else. People look at red bottoms, they look at Prada, they look at a name brand, but he gave you something bigger than that name that you want to look to.
Right.
They use that for advertising. He gave you something that everybody need to look to. But you want to be with everybody else because that's what they want. That's what I want. That's not what he has for you.
And that's so important because there comes a time where he wants you to be alone. There comes a time where he wants your undivided attention. And I tell you, I told my ex-girlfriend from way back, I told her, I said, when I'm not with you, I pray a lot more. I said, and when we broke up, I noticed that after work, I would go get a nice dinner. I would go home, and an hour and a half, I'm just praying to the Lord. Because I enjoy praying to the Lord, but I always got something I'm tackling or trying to achieve or an enemy to overcome. And so I spend a lot of time with the Lord. And I realized that I had been giving myself away. My priorities weren't in order. I was more focused on caring for her and the relationship that we had. As much awry was going on, I should have been spending that time with the Lord. And so I'm looking over my shoulder like, okay, you can't make that mistake again, Stacy. And I think to some degree, the Lord, if you say, okay, I want to love companionship, I want to love it, and you don't think about it from a pure perspective, from a divine perspective, from a wholesome perspective, God's going to give you exactly what you ask for.
You gravitate to it automatically.
He's just going to drop it in your lap. It's not going to be what you need. And at that point, he's going to need you to choose.
That's right.
Him or me.
And you won't choose him.
And if you choose the partner you have, then you're going to be in misery and turmoil and troubles and darkness and pain and all frustration and doubts and worries and all that. You're going to be in that world because you're not choosing the Lord. And this show wasn't necessarily about that, but we'll look at what we are coming to in the final stages of this show.
And what it need to come to, you having a better understanding of you in your own God.
Right.
If you atheist, I don't know where you at in life, but you feel like everything is guided off of what you see. Only thing I say is we've been bamboozled. The TV, the radio, it's all been broadcast in a way that if you think it's helpful, only thing I can say you led astray. Okay? My whole thing is to get you to realize there's some people out there, and we do this here, to show you we care. Care enough to tell you that everything is not worth listening to, but it's worth analyzing.
Yeah, and let me give you a real simple fact that seems to be, kind of a worldwide statistics is that there seems to be some movement where if you're married, like married men are more successful than single men.
I want to prove that wrong.
Yeah, that is actually a statistic that married men are more successful. But think about it. A married man is on his job. A married man has to achieve. A married man is not about himself. It's about accomplishing what the family needs, what the kids might need, what the house might need, what the cars might need. So now he's not somebody out in the street. You know, he's not somebody who can just hang out when he wants to. He's not somebody who can spend his money the way he wants to. He's got to be in a disciplined mindset to be in a relationship. Therefore, he's going to be focused more longer of the time. And so there is something to be said in having a partner in your life, right? There's some of you who are single. When you come home every day, you get on your couch and you don't see nothing until the next day. And that is not how it needs to be. You gotta be moving and achieving some things and get some things done in your life. And it's easy to lounge when you're just by yourself.
Right.
It's easy to leave a few years on the couch when you're by yourself.
Right.
But when you're with a significant other, especially somebody who wants something big and who wants to hold and who's gonna hold you accountable, they're not gonna let you be lazy and lounge. You're gonna achieve more. Right? So there is something to be said for being in a relationship. You potentially can be a little more focused in having a love relationship in your life.
Right.
You know?
And I'm gonna say right here, right now, and I say it all day long. I like what you say. I'm gonna give you a agree to a disagree. I say yes, but truthfully, it ain't just it's your surrounding, it's your company. Because I can be surrounded with people that can push me.
Right.
You say she can, and she also can destroy you. I don't know who you with. If you with the right one, yes. But I can also tell you, if you single, then watch your company that you keep, because you can be uplifted with other people than people that you sleep with.
You can.
You have to find out what's right for you and watch your circle of influence.
Yeah.
Because I can judge you by your friends.
Yeah.
That says a lot to a person. So that ain't got nothing to do with your woman. That got a lot to do with you. Because this is what you choose. You can have a woman still choose the wrong people.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you will let astray.
Listen,
my whole thing is watching.
Friends or not, the question becomes, what motivates you? Are you going to get in the saddle and make life happen? And as a single person, you got plenty of time. You got all your resources. You can do, like the pros say, you can travel. You got freedom. You can meet lots of people. You can be going to get it. But we're finding that most single people are not in that category.
Category what?
The category where they're trying to make life happen. Sometimes, and listen, and we know this for a fact, sometimes a man will not get focused on his life until he get married or until he has a child. That child will say, you know what, get your ass up and go to work today. And next thing you know, he's working harder, he's trying to get a promotion, he's trying to make his life happen because he has the accountability to take care of his child or to take care of his wife. And it's a sad reality, but we all need that level of accountability. It can happen in the friends that you have. We're not saying that, right? But we're talking about, did you expect to be single at this point? No, you didn't expect to be single. Exactly right. And you know what? That because you are single, you're leaving life on the table because you're not focused. You ain't got nothing pushing you. Your wife, you and your family and your wife would need a bigger house, and you just might go get a better job if you had some things pushing you in life. It's unfortunate that sometimes life gotta push us, but if you're meandering in a single life, you just might find your sweet spot having a relationship and having someone special in your life. And I think I'll leave the show at that.
And the only thing I can tell you, if you're single like myself, only thing I can tell you is make sure you understand yourself. One of the things I can tell you is this not the person that I say is significant other that push me. It's the people that's around me. I'm around Craftmatic, I'm around Boo, and I got friends. And one of the things I can tell you about them is they understand me. So to see the best in me is to understand me. So don't just say a person can get you there. It is a surrounding, and it's a tribe. It's just like raising a child.
Yeah.
You are child-minded when you're not with God guidance.
Yeah. But
when you guided with Him, you can understand that person better, and then you can gravitate.
Yeah.
But when you're not, I promise you, I'd rather gravitate to good, wholesome people that's real to elevate me. And when I get elevated, I will meet that person that I see exactly what you're saying, and we can become more of a whole because now I can respect her from the things I've been through, and I can gravitate and grab that I didn't have before because I gravitate to what I knew, and that was the street, and it was some things that I was adding value to me, and now I realize it didn't. But what I did know is I don't got to turn my back to certain people to realize I have to change for better, And that's what other people taught me. And it wasn't women. It was grown men that said, you know something? I see the greatest in you. When a man tell another man, I see great in you, it makes you realize all the shit that you went through wasn't for vain.
Right.
And I tell you, it makes a woman come in my life and see the best in me.
There you go.
Because somebody else encouraged me. And it wasn't because they wanted to be with me. Because it's the ATL, I gotta say that. It's because they seen that, you got a drive in you. And you good, bro. Keep it up. So for all the other ones want to say something else, kiss my ass. No. It is to get you to be the best you. And then you can respect the one that comes into you. Because God does it in a position where he has it, where you will understand it and you will keep it. We do it for us. We're selfish individuals and you expect it to work. It works when you get his like.
Right.
You gotta be like-minded to him, and it ain't always there.
There you go.
So I'm not saying I'm best for single. I'm destined for great, but being in destiny, you gotta understand purpose.
There you go. And I think we're going to close our show up with that. We are out of time. We certainly appreciate you folks being with us tonight. This has been Bar Talk with Jay. My name is Craftmatic. This is my boy Smooth
Talking
Jay.
to Jay tonight.
And of course, we want to thank you folks for being here with us tonight. We're here every week, Thursday, 7 to 9, Facebook Live. Come and join us, tell your friends and family, and we really appreciate you folks for being with us. We love you so much. We do this only for you to better our community and our world. And with that, folks, we are out.
Ain't no last calls here.
Bar Talk with Jay.